Hello, folks. Welcome back. It's not LCS VoD reviews. It's going to be LTA North VoD reviews. It was a rebrand, a lot of changes in the offseason, but we're back and trying to get some of these out. Now, another change. Week 1, I'm joined by special guest, the newest member to the LTA North broadcast, and my good friend Kangas. Steve, how we doing?
Hello, I'm doing well, Yeah, first week of the book. It was weird because I've gone on to kind of like guest cast on the LCS in the past, but that would only be one day out of the weekend. Sunday was really weird, man, because like the Saturday felt like one of the guest casts basically, but then when I had to go back in on Sunday, I was like, wait a minute, this now feels weird. This feels like an extra layer, but it was a really fun experience.
Yeah, I'm sure at one point you were like, man, it's kind of weird that in between games, I'm not going to the closest gas station and get a brewski with Cubby after the off day, you know? Yeah.
I didn't know. Okay, now everyone knows our tradition.
Yeah, well, I mean, that was celebratory tradition way back in the day, you know? So, yeah. Anyway, congrats, man. You did a good job up there. And
I still remember that
St. Patrick's Day, yep, I do too.
St. Patrick's Day where we're just
there's 9 tiebreakers. Yep. Well, I mean, if you want to get it all in the VoD, then we can. But anyway, we got FlyQuest versus Shopify Rebellion up first. New year. Some things, though, they stay the same. Follow me everywhere at CubbyXX, especially on Twitch, where we stream these live, and we'll have Kangas' socials as well, and KangasCast on Twitch, too. So, anyway, without anything else being said, here goes. Game 1, Draft, LTA North. Holy shit, is this a World's VoD review? Because look at FlyQuest comp. We've got the Ivern Hash responded to the Skarner. Skarner getting through was a bit interesting, just because Skarner has been pretty much permabanned, especially in LPL Fearless. LPL, Skarner resides here. Not here, though, in LCS. And frankly, if you're going to let an OP champ through, I hope you have a good game plan. I thought FlyQuest had a decent game plan. For me, the mistake was actually... for me, the Jax was a little bit weird here because it does open up Blippo to get whatever pick he wants on 3. The Urgot, already decent into the Skarner. And then Varus... I think it ends up being a Poke Ferris this game, so you're going to lose the DPS war. Poke Ferris somewhat forced when the Cassio comes in. Overall, I really didn't love the SR comp because I think that when you're going Poke like this, you need to have targets you can actually take down, and the only good target is Ashe. Everything else, like, yeah, Cassio can somewhat eat Poke, but she has a lot, like, she's tankier and has a lot of sustain in their kit. Urgot can catch it. And we can't really make plays anywhere else. I didn't love this draft from Shopify Rebellion. Kangas, you got any other thoughts?
No, I hadn't really thought about the Jax pick order. All I remember from this is just being shocked that the Skarner made it through also, just because that guy's got like 96% presence globally. And
in Fearless, which means you're getting banned.
Majority is banned.
It just means you're getting banned, yeah. I was also a little bit surprised. But, again, rule, if you're going to let a pick like that through, have a good answer to it, which I do feel like FlyQuest had here. Anything else?
Yeah. No, that's let's just run it. I'm excited to see the good old Blippo Urgot.
That's a good sign. I think the fan would be happy to know that during the fires, Cubby did take in a cat for a night.
I heard about that actually. Yeah. Good for them.
Okay. Oh, shit. I've got to resize things.
Oh?
I mean, look at, if you look at the stream.
Oh, I'm looking at the Discord.
The player UI, the right side boxes are different. No.
Do you like the updated UI and everything?
I like it a lot. I actually like it a lot. I think it's really good.
There's one part of it I don't like, and that is the Otacon buff being up with the dragons. I don't like that because it just looks like a dragon icon, and it's kind of confusing. I understand that it's like rough to tell you the order things got picked, but
it's rough.
I don't like it.
I had a tweet that I sent over to Manny about how I think it should function. He's like, yeah, that's probably it. Lane swap here.
Look at that. Cubby just saving the LTA. Damn it. I was really good at not calling it at the LCS the whole weekend.
Lane swap initiated by SR. I'm trying to think like who wants solo lanes, who doesn't. I think of both Urgot and Jax function pretty well in 1v2s. the one thing that I'll really give FlyQuest and TL at Worlds is that I think that some of the picks they were taking in the top lane were a lot better to play 3 lanes from the start. And we do see this here with Jax and Urgot both starting in the lane. Of course, then you don't get, you get solo XP, nothing shared. And this season, they increased the range for picking up XP by 100. So I think it went from 1,400 to 1,500 units. So like actually in top lane, if you're around like the edge of the tri-brush, you can catch the melee creeps that die in the middle, which is really good to know.
I didn't see that change. That's cool.
Yeah, I actually wish that more players would abuse that. That's a 1 teemo range increase, pretty much. So yeah, good on Fudge here. He's able to get up. He doesn't get all the creeps, so he missed 1, but that's still fine. Meanwhile, Blippo is 100%, which is, I mean, Urgot's really good at this early on, so.
So one thing that I like to think about is just like a, little mini game is, what did this team actually proactively lane swap, or were they trying to read an opponent's lane swap? Who do you think initiated it this time?
I think
who's happier with how things ended up?
Like me personally, I don't know the Jax Urgot matchup like 1v1 too well in the early stages, but I would want the Leona Varus to lane into the Ashe Rel. Because the poke on the Varus is like really good. You need some levels, but in the 1v2, like with this build, Ashe should be able to at least get through things faster. But that does take a little bit. For me, I was a little bit surprised that SR swapped. I think they were maybe trying to guess a FlyQuest swap, but yeah. Do you think NA lane swaps are pretty bad? I've seen LCK zone people off XP range. I think it's sometimes the champs that are picked, and I actually thought NA was ahead of the swap meta last year. We don't have a really big sample size for this year. Like, TL and FlyQuest were playing swaps better than the LCK teams at Worlds. I think that really gave them an edge. Like I believe that you need to commit to playing 3 lanes with a swap when you have champions that can. And this is a case where both Urgot and Jax, these champions can sit in lane from level 1. So I like the fact that we're using this. What a Blippo flash here. Oh, arrow? Okay, good flash. Busio here on time to defend.
Yeah, really good timing from Busio.
Yeah, and like this is tough for SR because now Zazel's got to back off, so again, XP war. FlyQuest is getting more than SR from that. In terms of the swap, can we play this better? I think Zazel ended up taking a lot of damage before. So I'm a bit surprised that like he didn't play a little bit further back, and then I actually thought that Zazel would initiate. Just burn his flash to get out. But I guess Zazel did initiate. Yeah, I just think taking all this damage here that early was bad. Yeah. And like Blippo's done a nice job of preserving his health bar. I will give Blippo props. The fact that he's full health and level 3 here is not good from the SR bot lane. Like they didn't get anything successful. So I do think that like that also factors into this, right? Let's see. Yeah, also like the allocation of resources here, the Ashe getting a little bit more than the Varus early on is nice. Again, like levels are really big for the Varus, especially when you're going poke Varus because you're ability based. So we're gonna have Blippo TP down, so we have the lane swap. FlyQuest for me, get the lanes. This base is better for Masu. He has a little bit of sustain and should be able to at least match the push of Varus because of course the casts from Varus and those abilities has a lot of control over the wave. Once he uses Qs that way. So I think like early game, the failed dive from SR definitely slowed their game down. I still don't love the swap though for SR. I think that they would have wanted like 1v1, 2v2. Stuff like Quest. Hey, someone give you a compliment in the chat, Steve.
Yeah, nice. I'm not looking at
No,
chat. I
it's
saw
fine.
Discord up on my one monitor.
That's fun.
But cheers, whoever said a nice thing.
Yeah. Well played there from Blippo. I do like how he's connecting with the Q right after Jax hops in. That's how you play the matchup. You slow down Jax so you can get some space back. Of course, he doesn't have flash, but he's able to defend, so well done. And SR showing bot. It feels like SR, like, with the swaps and everything, they just kind of had, like, a weird direction. Like, once the top dive fell, they weren't able to speed the game up anymore. Or failed. Yeah. Like, Skarner ending up over here just to yoink a Gromp, like, yeah, that's fine, but your bot lane's losing, you're not on Grub side, so first Grubs go over to FlyQuest. I will say, new season, I still really prefer first Grubs. I think if you get first 3, it's good. You get extended time by trying to force plates, and then you really pressure the opponent to contest your next Grubs, which can be good, giving you the option to, either match or do something else. Still think 5-6 Grubs are a win con in this new season. And FlyQuest get both. Okay, well, this game is just already a tragedy. Wow. I mean, really like the walk from Busio. I mean, this is a tragedy. I think if this is the case, Zeyzal needed to be back here. So then he can, like, actually go do the dragon, or Contracts needs to drop this Gromp, because we're late. And the dragon's going to be worth it over Gromp in the long haul, right? So we just didn't have the right timers here. Yeah, it's not worth Gromp. Yeah.
So I'm pretty sure what happens right after, yeah.
Yeah, because they get yoinks.
Straight back down to drag.
Yeah, that's why I'm saying that, like, Contracts needs to skip the taking the Gromp away. Because if he's on Dragon now, then they can at least kind of match the timers up. I do like the Hawk Shot from Masu. This gives them good info that they can actually make this play. And look at Fudge, right? Like, this matchup, he doesn't feel like he can pressure right now. And Buppa's playing the weak side really well. Like, he's actually winning the health bar war. And yeah, just push him right off. And Zeyzal's base, it just took him off the map for this play, right? So, like, for me, if Zeyzal's basing here, I know that, like, the dive can come down, but if he's able to get back, like, hide himself, and then actually be able to, like, be at this dragon or help, and Skarner's here early, I think the big thing is that Skarner just needs to drop Gromp to do this. Is this timer being messed up? It really fucks with SR's game. Like, every play that SR has attempted has just been taken away from them, and so their tempo is just, like, forked. Like, they fail the top lane dive. What happens from that? Enemy bot lane ahead, you're down tempo. So, wasted time taking the Drake. Like, so far, SR is just, like, their game's already super hard. Why does Skarner have tier? Fimbulwinter's pretty OP. Hey, what's up, Sean? I do like Fimbulwinter a lot. Like, Fimbulwinter's really strong. Good sidestep by Masu. Yeah, good movement there.
This play, though, I remember watching this live. Why doesn't Masu ult at any point? I know his movement is fantastic, but he uses too many volleys, and you'll see it right before he actually goes down.
Oh, he doesn't have enough mana?
He doesn't have enough mana because he presses W. So, like, here, I think if he just kind of waits, he can have enough mana for his R. Like, why not just hit Zeyzal here? Maybe he doesn't have it, but then he volleys the wave. Boom. I think that was a mistake. Because if you just, like, wait for ult.
Yeah, I mean, I think that for me, like, if he throws out R here, then Zeyzal flashes it. And if Contracts is here for the dive, which they're assuming, then he's in big trouble, right? So I'm okay with him saving R here. Because in theory, Zeyzal should be able to react flash that, right? And
I guess.
Yeah, so, like, then we're down, like, the big tool. I like that volley a lot, too, because he hit everything. So I actually think they played this okay. If anything, I think flashing here. If Masu flashes potentially here, then we can get more autos on Zeyzal and maybe not get rooted. But B-Boy would have been charging up a Q. I think the actual mistake here is that B-Boy needs to Q. Why are we hitting Busio with his Q as B-Boy? If he throws this at Masu, like, we might actually get a kill. I know that Masu had flash, but that's the far more important kill, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, they get it in the end, but for me getting that in Varus, like throwing it here, like that could be guaranteed if we were better. As he gets rooted, yeah. All right. I mean, at least they get that dive done. What do they lose for it? At least it's decent that Hui got kills because Hui did lose quite a bit, actually. Damn. What was this hard for?
I think he was trying to stop the TP of Palafox, maybe?
Yeah, but you start, like, moving 2 or 3... Like, you can't do that anymore, you know? With a new TP. Anyway. Interesting. This is really nice. So we have a root and a root. We have a B-Voy alting. Again, I think for me, like, why are we alting Busio as B-Voy? And then he doesn't even proc his... Yeah, this is bad. Getting out of replay, we have Chain of Corruptions down onto the Rel when Masu is Sumless and here. And then we don't get... Like, yeah, we turn on the Masu, but we don't auto. We miss our E because we're getting spaced. And we walk into this. This is really bad.
Yeah, that's rough.
That was really bad from B-Boy. So, I don't know. Yeah. Nice bait from Masu. Because he had numbers and they didn't have vision. That was just SR trying to make 2 plays in a row. And didn't calculate it. And I don't know what B-Boy is doing there. Like, he dies with Flash Cleanse up too, just walking into Rel. That feels really bad. Yeah, I mean, dude, we have no sums on Masu. Damn.
Wow.
I mean, Masu dies if he actually throws R at him. If he hits R, Masu's 100% dead.
Make that call to him.
Yeah, that's bad. Well, Grub's 5-1 also bad. And the scale, like, we didn't mention scaling. Scaling definitely in FlyQuest's favor. I just gave him double poke. And their tankiness. This game, again, is already over where it is here. It just feels like the first few plays that Shopify Rebellion hit were bad, and that mid lane play was, like, egregiously bad. Because, again, Masu is Sumless, and we threw everything into the Rel. And then, yeah, that was really bad. I don't know. Because we lost any and all tempo off that, and, like, you give this team control. And we've seen how tanky the Ivern Cassio Ashe core is, and just again, what I really like about Ashe as a pick and what makes her so OP is that the slows, the utility that Ashe brings can open up so many picks, like Urgot, like Cassiope. There's picks that do struggle with range and being able to interact. We put a lot of things around them that enable them to get into the range and then get to the strengths of their champ's kit, which the DPS, like what they deal when they are in range, it's crazy good, and they're really tanky too. And Ivern and Ashe really help them get in. Between like the interactions with Ivern Q, all the slows that Ashe brings whenever she's doing anything on the map, like I really like this comp. Ivern Rel too, you can hide the Rel engages, which makes it a lot easier to set up. That's really big. It's a good pick away against Ivern as well. The shield break. And there's a reason that FlyQuest was having success with this draft and a different patch, but at a higher stage. And the theory of it still stands here, which I like a lot. And then we have Blippo just winning, I guess. Sorry, I don't really know why Fudge-based. Fudge-based for Triforce? Okay, but he's just going to sack tower for it. Again, both side lanes winning for FlyQuest. Wow. A nice arrow. feel like Boosie had a nice game, but he's just being set up by his team like super hard and super heavy. This TP from Wade for me, like, or Fudge, is late for me. I think that Fudge, if we actually like, want to try and contest this, Fudge should just be TPing now. Like, then maybe you can get a Blippo to TP before he's able to base too. I don't know. Well, Steve, doesn't look like we caught a very competitive game.
Yeah. I remember thinking that the first dive on Amasu was all right from Shopify. Just like, okay, they got a couple kills.
Yeah.
They bounced back with that. But then once they didn't get the dragon on the timer with the grubs, that was when I like had to leave and I wasn't paying as much attention anymore. I just remember thinking like, oh yeah, it's not in a good spot anymore.
All right, Blippo gets caught. It's a bit of a moment. I mean, his whole team's resetting, and he takes the aggro away to get to lane, so it's just... There's not much else to talk about. That's just not great. Yeah, I mean, again, this... Like, the way that we're set up for this fight, too, we don't have Hui or Varus on the same side. And then... Nice arrow. If we flash that, maybe we have a chance, but I think the fight is still FlyQuest favored. Just given, like, setup going in. And where we are at as champs right now. And now this game, I mean, this game's gonna be boring from here on out. Early Verdant Barrier from Quad, interesting. Again, he just has to survive the poke as Cassio, and he should be fine from there. So, just using the early lead he has to get defense, and if you can live as Cassio, your DPS is crazy good. Wow. And FlyQuest, they don't really have bot push. They just go for this play. I feel like it's illegal. They get so much out of SR, like, before the rest of this fight breaks out. I mean, if they fall back at any time, like, look at the tools they got out versus what they spent. Nice combo from Palafox on the backside, but again, like, where B-Boy comes in and has this ult, I know that B-Boy was catching mid, but I don't get why he blast cones this way. I think it actually puts him in a bad spot.
This fight I love. Watch Quad this
Yeah,
Quad's
doing the right thing.
Like, Contracts gets this big impale. They should kill Blippo, but because Quad's now on the carries, like, B-Boy's afraid to hit. He's backed all the way the fuck off. Halifax just doesn't have enough cooldowns.
That's the poke Varus versus DPS Varus. If you're against DPS Varus, you can never approach like that. But poke Varus, he saw the R and the Q charging, and he just went, which ends up being really nice. I don't know. It just feels like SR don't really have a chance. Hui and Varus are so like far forced back because of that. And that's kind of why I didn't love B-Boy taking the blast cone over the wall. I don't think it matters that much. It didn't have an impact in the fight, but he also has Blue Trinket. Like, for me, it's you take blast cone straight left and play with the wall, and then you can Blue Trinket like up around here, because then you're actually starting to like build your defense as the poke comp. So we're going to draw a line like this and play off that and try and get more info. Because the way that B-Boy approached and the way he used his spells, I don't think he knew that Quad was coming from this angle. Not that he can, like, arm or anything, but if he knows here, then you can throw an E. And I do think that he would have kited further this way, like right now, instead of walking up. Yeah, like kiting down. If he knew Quad was coming that way, it would have been a much better position early on. He never gets hit by that Q. That's it. Like, literally one Q gets his flash.
I'm also like, what did B-Boy intend with his Chain of Corruption there?
I mean, it's a combo. And if he combos, it's good. I think, like, he wants Inspired. If he hits Inspired, it's good. It was a good flash, right? And, like, again, he fired it off, and he's not charging Q. So, yeah, I do agree. But if he hits Inspired, then they do get a kill, right? But, yeah, good flash.
Holy shit, he's hot!
Thank you for the subs. I'm glad to see you streaming again, boss. Thank you. Shikuroin and Joe Goat Ba. Goat Ba. I like that. Tier 1 for 6 months in advance. God, that's crazy. Thank you. That's very nice of you. Must have been an ad that came through.
Hell yeah.
All right, 5K gold lead for FlyQuest. I mean, again, I don't I feel like the approach is like for SR, this is what a difficulty about like getting behind in a poke comp is too. When you lose the map, like we've seen Palafox and B-Boy be split because they can't get any like shove on side lanes. They're always responding and they have to approach the fights at a different direction. Coming from lanes, they're responding. Like we haven't seen them really be synced up and them able to defend. I just think that the lines that SR are drawing to defend are not great. Because with a poke comp, like you have to draw lines and pick, okay, how far is the enemy team going to get in? And where are we going to defend for a vision? That's when Varus and Hwei can get really good because you're walking into them. And we just haven't seen them be able to set up like for that. All right. Rate this Blippo death. We have Rel in base and Cassio in base. And they burn flash.
Yeah. He was like really far up.
Yeah, he doesn't need to play this wave at all. The control word he drops is definitely aggressive. I think that if he waits out the rotation, he can use it to clean up vision after that he sees. Esports team would be less without you. That's very nice of you to say. We do our best. I mean, yeah, he goes down, but he still is able to spawn in time, and they used Riff, and the waves are good. They do this. So, again, nothing too interesting. This game for me is honestly kind of boring, because it felt like it was over pretty quick.
There's one other really fun play that happens later here.
Okay. I do think Fudge is trolling here. So I know that they're able to turn this, but I think that he's too far up, so like, I'm okay with FlyQuest going for the play. I don't think this is a mistake. Even if Blippo's going to go down. They are ahead, they have the time, and then Palafox being at this angle sucks. I mean, again, like, the way that we're approaching the fights as the carries, Palafox and B-Boy, like, we're totally exposed to the part of the map that FlyQuest was at, right?
If he just flashes the wall immediately here, maybe they can reposition and take the
fight. I mean, I still think that they're too far up by doing this, which is why I think Fudge is trolling. I know that they go get Blippo, but I feel like SR is in terrible position from here. I know that like even if Palafox flashes in time and they're getting chased at this angle, right? If he was out, like he'd be able to buy a lot of space, but the way we're able to cut him off as FlyQuest is nice. I like that Masu tanked that. I really do. Like he has flash. His cleanse isn't up yet, but he doesn't need to flash that. Like he understands that he can afford to tank it, which I like a lot.
Both of the carries, Quad and Masu, both have like this is almost mirrored where, you know, similar part of the map. Last time it was Quad that was kind of on the aggressive flank, and now it's Masu walking up. So I like how FlyQuest are able to approach fights and like pick their targets in a way where some teams, like if it's a different team, maybe like Dignitas rather than FlyQuest here, everyone would just focus on the clump and probably let Fudge get away because they're like, oh, let's go for the guarantee. But Masu just trusts the team. Like, no, they got this. I can take the Jacks and then turn back.
Boostu having a really nice game as well. Nothing can really keep Rel out unless you hit like an insane fear on Hwei. He's doing a good job. All right, Blippo taking one with him for Otacon's worth.
Yeah.
Based Otacon, I guess. I don't know. I don't like the subjective. I don't want to talk about Otacon, though. I think there's been a lot of conversation over that. Oh, my God.
Yeah, Mazu not dying here is crazy.
I think they sent it a little bit too hard. Like, they could have waited a wee bit. Or also, I think that the right play here, if we're playing this at the highest level, is to actually just go exit top side. You take top inner, and then you can retreat as your team and like reset your Baron vision with Blippo.
Yeah.
Instead, they go to dive. They do get sums from B-Boys, so it's not terrible. Obviously, like they live this, which is filth. Okay, I guess they just get away with murder. Let's chill. Okay.
They're just using the Otacon again. They're thinking it doesn't matter if we die here. Let's just get what we can.
And they still got top enter, so it's worth the fact that like Boosie is playing this wave solo. That was just hilarious. Goddamn. How you feeling about opening week? I hope the game's better now in the first round. I will say, like I thought going into the year there'd be a lot of parity. I think like the tier list I made and I put in Travis's channel, I feel pretty decent about because I really feel like there are 2 teams at the top, 2 teams that can contest them, 2 teams that can contest the next 2 teams. And then 2 teams that I don't think are likely to top 4. So I think
TSG and Lion?
It feels like an F1 split, honestly. Do you agree with Blippo's comments about streaming scrims? Yeah, I mean, for me, I think that teams should stream scrims a little bit. I think it's good for content. I just think that like fans think it's gonna be way better than what it actually will be, which I'm okay with. If people like want to still hop in, then it's fine. But yeah,
I just love that he called out the whole fucking league.
Yeah.
Apparently erroneously, because then Pal Fox had the rebuttal of like, we were okay with it.
How was I right about Surdy, by the way? I don't know. I don't know about the streaming scrims. I mean, ISR ranked a little bit lower than most others, but that's what I thought.
Where'd you have him?
I'm in 6th.
Okay.
I dig ahead. The only person that dig ahead was Medio, so it's C9 at 1, so, you know. Respect.
Yeah,
Surdy looked competent. I thought Surdy played really well, and we'll go over it. I mean, like, we can't even get through the choke with the poke comp. It's tough. Again, really, I do like FlyQuest draft. I think that the way that Ashe and Ivern enable these champions like Urgot and Cassio to get involved when they are gated by range is really big. And I love Ashe being used by this. Ashe is OP, like, in her own right. Like, what really makes Ashe OP is how, like, just her slows enable other champs to do good shit. It's kind of like why I'm playing Ashe with Kangas' Pantheon, you know? Or the legendary AP support Malphite. We need to play Ashe for that, you know? We get the slows, we free him up, find the big combos. Right, big game. Nice game, Bon. Any closing thoughts there, Steve?
No, just I think Bucio's really good timers. He's playing the lane swaps very well to cover the right sides of the map where he needs to be, and his engages were great too. I think that Team Liquid were just like better at the timers for lane swaps for pretty much all of last year, but obviously this isn't FlyQuest versus Team Liquid, but I felt like FlyQuest were pretty smart with how they were playing them too.
They were. I give TL a lot of credit for being ahead of the swap meta. I give FlyQuest a lot of credit for adapting to that and playing well. And by Worlds, I thought both teams were good at swap meta, which is good. Anyway, Fearless Draft. So we got this for NACL last year. This is the first VoD review. I think that you guys are familiar with what Fearless Draft is by now. But any champ played in the first game cannot be played again in Fearless Draft. And we do not have a side swap, which is pretty much the way that you can change up bans in Fearless. That said, Kalista, Yone, Jace, good for FlyQuest. They don't even have to ban Skarner anymore on red side. Zyra, Poppy, Corki. Actually, I kind of like the idea, by the way, if you're the favorite team, actually having a game plan to light Skarner up, because you do free up a ban. Like, you have to win 3 games. FlyQuest, game 1 of the series, they're like, okay, if we want to win this series, even if we lose, we're going to have to at least play 2 games on red. So if we lose to Skarner, like, we do free up a ban. I don't hate that, by the way.
I suppose.
Yeah, I actually don't like that. Bucio just smurfed in the last game, so that's for sure. Anyway, Cassante first pick. Cassante is still really, really strong this season. Just Cassante things. Ambessa, Sejuani, Response. We have Vi, Victor. And then Azir. So a little bit more playmaking in the hands of the FlyQuest top side, just because they have Sejuani plus Azir. Victor needs to wait, and we've seen a lot of Victor Azir over the years. The big thing about this matchup is 6 and getting Victor timer. If Flash is down on Victor, then Victor should just die. And so it's really important that we have FlyQuest do that with the way they draft this early top side. Khan Kaisa, Bard Ezreal ban. We have a Jhin for Masu, so playing with the range. They're going to have a lot of damage up here too, especially because Blippo goes to the lethality build, so more setup coming out from Masu, just utility bot lane. Kate Maokai, I did not love. Maokai support, I actually don't mind. You just kind of suck in lane, but Maokai is a champion. Like, every level you get, he just becomes OP. I still prefer Maokai jungle because you have more access to resources, and also it's easier to move the saplings around in jungle, I feel like. Maokai is a champion, like, his kit's just filthy. So that said, I think that him and Kate do opposite things in lane. Kate wants to be very lane dominant. Maokai just wants to fuck off from lane and get to fights where he can press 6 and, you know, have his Q and be like OP, because this champion really thrives there. So I don't like this combo. I think that Maokai is okay this game and trying to reach this, but I would have rather have him run Something that can kind of interrupt the Azir. I don't know.
Maybe like a Poppy?
Poppy's not bad here
like
at support.
against
Yeah, you're still
Bessa
blinding
too?
it though.
Yeah.
I don't mind Poppy this game though. I think that would have been a little bit favorable because you would have brought a lot more peel and protection for this backline. Maokai Q is really good for that, but again, like he kind of lacks this compared to other supports because he only has like one spell in rotation.
I feel that Poppy is.
Poppy's banned by the way.
Oh, it is.
Yeah.
Oh, shot probably banned.
I mean, even with that being bans, you can't Alistar here, so I think Zay's just thinking like he's down here. I would have preferred Nautilus, and I'm a Nautilus hater. I would have preferred not though. Maokai isn't good with low econ. 100% agree. He scales really well. So like any level point you get is going to be really useful in Maokai's kit, and he's got solid ratios. I don't love him as much to support, even if I do think that his kit as a champion is just OP, and he can be played there, right? Yeah, I would have preferred not. Enchanter support. We've seen some Seraphine, which actually wouldn't have been terrible here. But you kind of get one shot by this, especially when it goes to Lethality, which we saw. And then this can also attack.
Renata Glask?
I hate Kate Renata, though. But you could have swapped up what you played with Renata. I think Renata's just kind of meh. There's like not enough dive to warrant Renata. Like if they had a Silas, I would have been a big fan, but yeah. If you want to pick Kate, you need to pick an Enchanter. I think you just need to pick that or something where it's a little bit easier to chain the traps. Which isn't doable. Because like Kate Brom's really strong, but I don't think you have enough engage to warrant a Brom. So that's also like what I'm thinking about.
So what you're saying is Pantheon.
I mean, it might have not been too ass here, but you would have been blinding it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Fuck it, go Lux. Yeah. I mean, I think you I think you get doused by Sejuani Azir. I just think it's a bad game for Kate. But it was like the Jhin matchup. I mean, fuck it. I would have like Jinx Thresh for real. I would have preferred. I'm being honest, you know, or like Jinx Tom. I would have not minded the Jinx game.
I'm actually thinking Taric even.
Yeah,
I don't think we've seen Taric at like top level play, but I actually think he's
yeah.
good in a lot of
we haven't.
matches.
Yeah, the reason we just don't see him at top level play is if you see Taric, you just go Enchantress and Taric gets ruined. Like you like have to face Lulu.
Yeah,
it feels bad. But Lulu Jhin sucks, you know. So but they could have like went Karma. Like that's a feels bad lane, you know. I do like Taric though. I think like he does struggle in lanes. But that champion, if you are able to auto in fights, is actually really OP.
Oh yeah, especially against something like Ambessa too.
Yeah.
Like if she presses R, you press R, and she rarely kills fast enough through that. I know that Weapon's about to go full lethality here, so he might be able to with this build, but.
All right, we got the 2v2s. Zazel going to heal Aftershock. He has some options here.
So this is another question: is do you think who do you think's happier with the way that lanes got allocated? Because if I'm FlyQuest, I actually think I want Ambessa into the Cassante.
Yeah, I think that's really important. I think that for me, the way that I'm viewing Ambessa and why we've seen a lot of Ambessa Cassante is that you want to swap as the Cassante in this scenario. Ambessa, like my comparison for Ambessa is that, I mean, I make the Olaf comparison. Just because she completely scales off the resources that she gets access to. Like, she has to do damage no matter what kind of build you go. So you have to get resources and be ahead. The difference here is that she's harder to dive pre-6. Then post pre-6, she's still pretty tough to dive. But you have to take resources away from her. Why do people not go best with grass? That's usually what it is, but it's just conquer this game for Blippo. You want the Lethality build, which I'm not as familiar with. The build that we were seeing in... LPL is you go Eclipse, which I will say as an item, I don't love Eclipse because I think it just is only useful at 1. And then it's Shojin or Cleaver next. And you go Cleaver into Cassante because he armor stacks. We have Blippo go for the one-shot here, which to be fair, he can do some one-shotting. But yeah.
And you also have Azir to actually take down the Cassante.
Yes. And you have Jhin to help with setup too. What's up, Luis? I was in Colombia for week 1. So this is perfect. Yeah, I hope you had safe travels. I heard about that. The grass feels so much better in team fights. I don't know, you just get blown up. Oh, the grasp. Yeah, I mean, green tree is just OP. We assist congrats on LTA full-time. Notice
Hey,
I'm using the brand. I'm corporate. No, you're good, Slayer.
LTA,
yeah. Yeah, we have mirrored clears so far. Not too much happening so far in this game. I do think that it's really important if you are FlyQuest to try and attack Victor pre-6. So I like contracts like using his timer to drop this ward and get Palafox a good side of the wave to be on. I think that's just good Azir Victor stuff. Again, this is a common matchup we've seen a lot of over the years, so should have a little bit more knowledge of this. Blip up on the wave, really good. So Fudge gonna have to TP and he's gonna lose a lot of that wave, which hurts. Your title says LCS week 1. Oh fuck.
Oh no! He caught it on the verbal, but missed it on the typed.
Old habits die hard.
Just like our teleprompter.
I mean, Fudge TPs and they just insta-chunk him, which I really like. And the wave's still held. It's like now Blippo will just be up in this matchup. Because the first base for Fudge, too, I mean, it's not like it's a terrible first base, but Mbess is going to get a much better first one. He wasn't able to get an item. I'm a little bit surprised that he didn't just rip the Chain Vest, too, which is, I think, you want in this matchup. We don't know it's going to be... I don't know if Conquer's a giveaway. It's going to be the Lethality Mbessa. I don't, so if that's the case, then Chain Vest definitely goes up in value even more. But yeah. Was this series matchup diff, or was SR dangerous and sloppy? It was both. Kate Maokai getting the first dragon. Really like how they shove the wave and harass them on the way in. They just get to keep on walking up. This is good.
They get the heal.
Yeah, so it's not free, and then because Blippo is ahead topside, he's gonna TP with a Brutalizer. Really nice. Is a Chain Vest now for Fudge, which will help, but Brutalizer as an item is really fucking strong. One of the stronger components. Grub take a little bit late, but we did get the wave in top for Blippo, so now we gotta sack this. Oh no.
If he goes all out here, does he get the kill? Like, does Fudge... Like,
yeah, I think
before he gets over the wall, or you have to flash and do it immediately,
so
right?
What Fudge is trying to do is he's trying to maximize the passive, right? Because you get bonus damage on your Qs and Ws as Cassante, right, with the auto. The right call here is he bumps him is just to immediately R or auto R, because he goes for the Q and then back click, like waste to click back. It's kind of weird. But I think you just bump him in R immediately. So yes.
Yeah.
I'm gonna assume that he wasn't in range for R for the rest of it. And I really like what Inspire does. Obviously, like, he just walks it out, gets the slow, still gathering info for his team. He knows he can play like that, and he's gonna be in range for his passive. And then this is also not good from Fudge, because for me, Blippo is actually kind of dead here if he doesn't R.
Yeah.
Because he takes him out of Victor ult.
Or at least you get the Blippo flash.
And, like, you're dragging Blippo into Narnia. Like, you have contracts here, which... If Vi's proccing passive against this champ, she does a lot. Like, and Palafox, I like where Palafox drops his abilities. I do. If we're fighting on Gravity Field, like, Sejuani can't go in. And Bess is going to get stuck, right? But we take him off Gravity
she's
Field.
She's going to flash into Tribrush, but you at least...
Yeah, you still get something, right?
Like, use your...
yeah.
To get
like, you're taking Blippo into freedom here. So this is bad. And Quad plays this fight really well. Like, nothing too special, but just, I mean, Quad just doing his job really well here, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, able to squeeze in an auto here. Props the Soldier. Eats that. Who cares? Good R. Like, on top of a Soldier, you already prepped. You wait out Gravity Field. Like, you can't play this fight. Like, he's just doing his job, right? You can't play that fight much better than what Quad did. Nothing special there, but, like,
really well too.
Really, really just, like, good shit from Quad, right? And then bot lane, Nico as levels. Maokai was forced out. So
we zoomed out so far that the observer saw the abyss. Did you notice that?
Yeah. And then Masu could angle the fish for a W here. We're just going to get the wave in. So, like, FlyQuest bot lane ended up scaling / winning here. We have a swap from SR, which is good. This is the right call. So they're going to get the resources, but still they lose top. And that's free time for Quad. And Grub's going over to FlyQuest. So our Azir win con, like, Azir, we haven't seen as much Azir of late, but really good, like, Azir tech / mechanics. Get Grub advantage. Go put him in a side lane. And because you go Nashor's first item, you do melt turrets with any sort of Grub advantage. Really, really good for Azir if he's able to get up early like this, so.
Speaking of Azir, here's a little teaser for you. I'm very excited for you to watch APA's Azir game.
Yeah, he put good.
He's beating the allegations.
I mean, this 1v1 too, again, like, Blippo played the fuck out of Fudge, I'm gonna be honest. So 1Q missed. That Q hit. This Q misses. So, I mean, again, like, we hit 1 or 2 of these Qs, and we're dead. And instead, Inspired's here. All right, you know, might have been closer. I do not think he played that 1v1 too well. Also, just not respecting the, like, sides of the map here. And, like, look at where our Vi is. So, like, why are we ulting this fight down a level? So, yeah, that's just bad. Yeah, that was bad.
I think the argument is that there was a window where Whippo has a lot of gold and hasn't backed in a while. This is the last chance you're probably going to have to do something like this as Cassante.
That's
the only argument I can think of for Fudge is like,
yeah, but like your item break point isn't even good.
It's never gonna happen again.
Yeah, I mean he still has more. Like you're down a level, he still has more in his inventory. And in that case, like we made mistakes before that, right? Which is true. Like the topside fight, we played poorly. So yeah.
Yeah, it's not a defense, just like a thought of like.
No, 100%.
That's what is going on in their head.
No, I think that's always good to consider. You know, like I mean that's why I like doing these because especially with NACL where I just know more folks. Like it's fun. I mean, just having players come in and like, oh yeah, we did fuck this up, but here's why, right? Like we thought this person was here. It's like, okay, like you know, if that's it, then that's bad. It's not like it's good, but at least like I can see that, right? So like we're on the same page, like why it's the right decision or not. It's just like we didn't have the info. That happens sometimes. Other times, like, oh yeah, we just fucked this up, you know. Or it's like, hey, like I think you're wrong. Here's why. I'm down with that too.
Now Blippo's got the completed item, so
ooh. Yeah. This is a good play from Contracts. Like, he saves this lane. Right? Could have given the kill over to Fudge, but honestly, at this point, like, this does get fine item, which is okay. Like the fact that Inspire is going Heartsteel, by the way. The Battle Piggy is pretty good. So we're a big fan of Battle Piggy right now. Heartsteel is a little bit overtuned as an item. I want to see, especially in Fearless, I want to see some Cho'Gath or Scion games for real. I think that the Scion with Heartsteel is legit at the moment.
Best we can do is Heartsteel Pantheon support.
It's good. I mean, that was good, that game. Red Pet says that's a first. It's Battle Piggy. It's crazy to see Blippo, like, taking this build into the Cassante and still fisting it. Again, I've not seen this Ambessa build enough, or as much, so I just don't know as much about this Ambessa build.
Love this from Busio.
I mean, that's hard to outplay. Yeah, I mean, you can see both piggies. This is hard for Fudge. And part of me is like, we need to charge W or like get that off, but I mean, that's hard, right? And then Blippo's dead. It's fun. But I look at how much SR commits to this and then like what the map's like, right? So again, like this game's already in tough shape. We haven't really talked about scaling again this game. Really like Victor scaling. Cassante is Cassante. Like you do scale well, but Cassante is behind. And FlyQuest just have the ability to make plays. I think Jhin is super duper valuable this game. I think it's a really good draft for Jhin. So I do prefer FlyQuest draft for that. Like, as long as we're able to kill Cassante, who is just miles behind, this Jin's, like, super valuable. You know?
He's also going full lethality.
Kate did not need to move that last play. That would be correct. He is going lethality, yeah. So, again, like, it's Azir job to get through the tanks in the front line. And then Ambessa Jin are just going to try and one-tap someone in the back line, which is honestly doable. Like, between these two champs.
So VoD still has the ability to win these 1v1s, actually.
Yeah, it's because of the build. So, like, again, we're building lethality into an armor stacker, but still, like, in the fights, you're going to see what Whippo does later on. The damage from the combo is actually, like, you 75% a squishy from one, like, round of spells. It's gross. All right, anyway, we had a rotation here. FlyQuest, again, 5 grub advantage. We overload a side after a trade and take this. So again, I like Whippo trading the fudge, even if he lost it, because he has numbers. Can't keep up his SR. We shift this into mid. They're too far up. And not respecting this side of the map. See, Masu did ult, which got canceled in mid. So you're going to see his cooldown go down. He was trying to set up on B-Boy, and Contracts was there. So that's good defense. But still, like, they don't retreat from this play. It probably just should have taken that and then try to get numbers. Something I really like from Busio, the clone. He's going to clone to catch... Or he tried to clone to catch Maokai R. I think it was a little late.
Oh, yeah. It was, like, in the casting animation still when it walks through.
Yeah. But I do like the attempt there. And, I mean, even if, like, Busio going down here, he trades his flash for 2. And they're still able to continue the play. So it's not great, but it's not terrible. Like, we're getting the tower off of this, and we're only bleeding support. Like, we're going to get a clean reset that they have to respond to. So not the worst death in the world. No, I'm early in the weekend review, but what was the call on supports in Fearless? Yeah, but there's potential for good R5s at support. I think R5 support's really valuable. Because you can find a game where Lulu or Seraphine, like we've seen some R5 Seraphines be really good in LPL. But it's mostly just point-and-click tank. There's also like a little bit of a meta for like what we handshake. Because AD is the narrowest pool. So a lot of teams are handshaking like Kalista Varus or Ashe Varus or, you know, Ashe Jhin, Jhin Varus. There's MF. Like, you're going to have one game of AD where just because of what the AD is blinded, you're likely going to take longer range or more utility. So, like, a lot of Fearless for me actually revolves around AD matchup. And, like, right now, whether teams want to ban Kalista, which is pretty much unanimous. But, like, if they want to play Ashe Varus, like, that handshake, right? Because that leads to, like, okay, we're going to take more utility around these picks in the bot lane. Or, you know, like, if we're going to play a Kai'Sa game. But I think later on, like, in drafts, I mean, if we're, you know, Ezreal's going to be considered. You can Ezreal Rakan. Like, that's going to change things up. Just, like, support. Like, I think AD, and because AD is the smallest pool, it actually dictates a lot of Fearless meta. Oddly enough. That and blinds. Yeah, Boppo got yoinked. I mean, even this play, though, like...
It's crazy that, like, lethality and Bessa still survives that.
Yeah. The W is filthy on this champion. Like, oh, the shield, you get so big. Anyway, I mean, FlyQuest are able to get out, and, I mean, what they did this, what, 4v5? So they just get free turret. Feels like a lot of times in this game, it has been SR and FlyQuest going even on the map, except FlyQuest just has less numbers and end up making the play even, right? So now we get Quad, who is insanely accelerated and went Deathcap second item, very based. Right? Like, Deathcap second item's not the strongest spike, but the real thing about Deathcap second item is that your 3-item spike becomes way bigger. And if you get a component, you're pretty much stronger than where you would be at with any other second item plus component. It's like once you get another component with Deathcap second, you're just better for the rest of the game. So when you're ahead like this and being kind of isolated in the map, I actually really, really, really like this from Quad. And then again, Waka MR on the front line here for SR. We do have Merc Treads, nothing else really besides that. It's not too bad, so it's not like he needs to go pen now. He can go pen next, and he's going to be filthy strong. As Otacon gets taken for free, pretty much. TP coming in. Look at this damage from Blippo. It's so filthy. You see this, Steve?
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck? Well played from Inspired. So, was a nice yoink from Fudge.
But this time it's Busio on the flank here.
Yeah,
just threatening them.
He's the minion.
Like, look at B-Boy. B-Boy can't do shit.
Yeah, and Masu was able to live for a really long time here. It is well timed from Busio to help open up some space for Masu. Also, again, Quad, like just having a really solid fight. He goes untouched. So they dump a lot onto Masu, and for me, Quad's like the real carry at this point.
Mm-hmm.
The E into the Q forward, like he's just playing a really solid Azir. Quad had a really nice game. I can't see why he was player. He did end up winning player of the week. This was a really nice game from Quad. I think he's playing these fights really well. Yeah. The angles that like Busio and Inspired taking two to create space, really good. SR just like forced him to overcommit. And again, B-Boy's chunked at the start of that fight, so you can't step up as Caitlyn anywhere. It's kind of hard. Like Caitlyn only could hit what was in front of her because she didn't have any resources to like do more than that. You know, you got to play as far back as possible. Upgraded boots for Masu. The Swifty upgrade on Jhin, really good because you get some just bonus move speed. Some of the boot upgrades are really good, like the Lucidity boots for Vlad. That upgrade's really good.
Dude, I love that upgrade.
Yeah.
Speaking of AP Malphite support, those boots are exactly what you want.
As we have Blippo using his Otacon to chunk both squishies to half. That's worth. Disgusting. Meanwhile. Yeah.
He doesn't have TP, but like they still just value on the map.
Yeah. Quad saves his ult here because he knows like he can't get anything, and then dude, this is the battle piggy, man. I mean, if he hit that site, like B-Boy has to flash there, and yeah, he still ended up going down.
And Bobo just walks all the way back and makes it back in time. That's crazy.
Yep. We love Otacon. NA carried by imports, nothing new here. Nice. All right, get back. Masu gonna use the Otacon to quick base. Nice. 200 gold to hit B. Flies better macro-wise? Yeah, I know, for sure. There's really not much to talk about in this series. I definitely learned
a tangential question for you then.
Yeah, what's up?
Just this match. Do you think Otacon is balanced if instead of respawning at base, you respawn where you died? Like a true GA? You can't just brain dead dive turrets anymore.
Yeah, I don't know if that's the fix I'd make, but it would definitely weaken it. Like the way it's being used right now.
Worse, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, 100% it makes it worse. I just don't know if like that's the solution that I have for it. But that's interesting. I honestly think the 200 gold and like how it works right now, I mean, I don't like the objective. I think it's a little bit of a toxic play pattern, but I don't think you can give 300 gold for these kills, so I don't know if it's going to change or not. I think you just decrease how long you get it, and it might be okay, honestly. So I like force them, or like if you recall, you lose it, you know? Like I my head's kind of like more there for how like where I'd want to see the objective. Because then like if you recall and lose it, then you have a choice. Like, okay, I'm gonna give 200 gold over. Like, what else can I get? You know?
Sure.
Contracts just gets one tap by Quad.
That's crazy.
Yeah, he just gets found here. Like, look at this damage. Again, well played, Quad.
Like he was maybe setting up like a flank on Mossy.
Yeah.
There.
That's just kind of game. Like, I mean, Zazel's in Narnia too. Like, he's trying to set up something deep. But I mean, they're cooked here. So, like, FlyQuest, again, like, dedicated to that wave and making sure that they can connect. Like, because they got mid in so deep, then it's free connect to top, and because of where SR's at, I mean, they just... Like, I mean, this is a super losing position for them, right? So, well played. There's not much else to see here besides... Oh, wait, we have Blippo doing filthy damage. Oh, wait, they don't end on this push. Yeah. Alright. This game's wrapped. Oh, here's the Blippo filthy damage.
Holy shit.
Yeah, dude.
Oh my god.
Oh, it gets better.
That's wild. He's still alive.
Yeah. Zeus wasn't permanent. It's Zeus, yeah. Alright. That's it. Week 1 LTA and VoD review of FlyQuest versus SR. Thanks so much. Tuned in. If you guys enjoy the content, follow me everywhere at CubbyXX, especially on stream where we go over these live, and Kangas as well. Thanks for joining us. Until the next episode.